Young people have a way of challenging things. They have a way of understanding the world in a completely different way to everyone else. And that's how we want to be. We want to be challenged by the brightest young minds.
I think there's added pressure when you're pitching to young investors because you have to understand that your idea has to be simple in order for them to understand. And that's not to take away the fact that young people are probably more intelligent than we are. But there is certain jargon that I cannot use. There are certain aspects of this pitch that I have to simplify in order for them to understand.
Take one.
Hi, I'm Matt Nutt. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Ludo Game Labs. We're a video game ideation lab and production studio based here in Campfield in Manchester.
My name is Cody Kapare. I am the director or the founder of Cody Black, a ready-to-drink cocktail.
We're excited to be pitching to young people. Young people have a way of seeing things in a completely different way to the investors that will be there, people that are in our audience, the consumers out there. They're all of these things and more. Young people have a new perspective on things and we're excited to be seeing what challenges they see in our pitch.
The first thing that I would like the young investors to consider especially is not just the investors but young people in the audience who are also thinking about being entrepreneurs in the future is the first thing that you have to do is start. There's never a good time to start. You start broken, start half-cocked, start without knowing exactly where you're going. Just start somewhere.
And you're learning about entrepreneurship. And we're going to give you a whistle-stop tour of all three so that we can prepare you tomorrow for this.
People who inspired me today were the staffs from Bright Futures. They gave me a lot of information about investors and I got really interested in it, and I think I'm looking forward to meeting new investors tomorrow.
I do think that we actually need that because this is literally my first time to see people like you guys, and it would actually help to come and talk with us and tell us more about how to invest and how to manage our money and stuff, and it will be actually really helpful.
I'm excited, but at the same time I'm a bit nervous. Well, first, it's a good opportunity for you to learn something new from the investors, and you can learn a thing or two from them, but at the same time it's a bit nervous because you never met them before, you don't know how you're going to introduce yourself, and yeah, that's it.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow because I want to know who the businesses are, I want to get to know the business, and I want to see who deserves the money and how much they can increase the value of the money.
For the entrepreneur, it's about them being able to pitch to a diverse group of investors that's diverse in age, gender, ethnicity, economic status and skill.
EcoFuture's energies, and what's your thought process behind it?
It's because EcoFuture has a good growth rate and the risk factor is only 6, which is suitable in my opinion.
Okay, why is it suitable for you?
It's suitable, the risk factor is low, and we only invested 15%, which isn't that much compared to the others, but we will hopefully get a good benefit from it.
This will be our 6th Young Investor Week Bright Futures event. And we're changing the narrative slightly because we want to see what it feels like for entrepreneurs to pitch in front of young investors, how do they receive it? How do the young people receive it? And what do the entrepreneurs take away? How do they change their pitch? How do they change their business model? And how do they repackage that idea so that they can then take it on into the market to get further investment?
Well, it was a really interesting pitch to young people. They totally picked out the hole in my pitch with the first question.
What's IP?
What? Did you hear that?
What's IP?
Yeah.
Intellectual property.
Of course, that's what they're great at. They're brilliant at seeing the gaps and finding the ways to understand the world and perceive the world in ways I can't even think about. So pitching to young people was fantastic today. Gives me a lot of food for thought, lots of things to learn.
A lot of the young investors could see my blind spots. So I had a lot of things that I hadn't accounted for, that I hadn't thought through, that I hadn't even considered. And they were just picking on them. And I felt naked because I thought I was prepared, but obviously not.
Entrepreneurs can be as pitch ready as they think they are for adults. But when they step into the room with 20 young people and they're using, acronyms and a lot of kind of like industry specific jargon, everybody's confused. And I think what's special about involving young people is that they will just say. So they will say, this doesn't make sense. They will say, like, today we had the question, you seem very confident. Why are you so confident? And I think adults have that filter where we wouldn't necessarily ask that kind of question.
Our winner for this morning's pitches is circular refining.
My name's Mark Shaw. I'm a lifelong Mancunian, so I've grown up in Manchester now for 36 years. Circular Refining was formed in July 2022, and now we're in 2025. So 3 years along the line, and I'm still really passionate about why I started my company, and it leads me to events like this where I get to pitch my company's vision to a very interesting set of people today. Like, out of the 25 people who are making the decisions today, we're all young people, and 20 of those people really got it today, and obviously resulted in the win.
Hi, I'm Hugh. I'm the founder of Leora. I really try to find courage to do things that frighten me all the time. It's exposure therapy at its best. It's just like, what could be the scariest thing I could do today? It's going to be probably pitching in front of like 40 people I've never met before. And that's every single reason to do it. But I was struck by their questions. I thought they were super smart and insightful. They seemed genuinely interested. I'm sure there are probably a few budding entrepreneurs in the mix. As someone who went through a great deal of stuff that I wouldn't wish on anyone in this room when they were younger, it's part of my inspiration for doing this. Doing stuff like this still scares the living daylights out of me. But I really think, look for your defining character. I want to be remembered for my courage, because all of this stuff scares the life out of me. And if anyone here has experienced that kind of violence, if you've lived in a dangerous place for a long time, if you found yourself completely lost, believe me, because I've done it, you can actually get somewhere in a short space of time. I went from a lost council estate lad to working for an ex-Google director and running his company in 5 years. And I couldn't believe it, and I still can't believe it. And so believe in yourself. You can do amazing things, even from really difficult places. So
having spoken to all of the young people today, before I pitched, it basically helped me take my knowledge of my business and the knowledge of my sector and then relay it to them in a way that they understood it, in a way that it kind of struck a chord, struck a heartstring with them. And like I say, I had a little bit of a thing on my side today, so I live local to where the young people's school is. So being able to introduce myself as someone like them, do you know what I mean, that's made a career and made a pathway for myself, I think, although my idea and my company is very strong, I think that really kind of resonated with them.
like I said, you never lose in life. You either win or you learn. So this was a massive learning curve for me. And like I said before, I was imagining myself when I was that age, 15, 16, and my young self would never have been comfortable to sit in that room. So for me to have had the privilege of having some really sharp young minds give me feedback and sit with me and see what my dream is and even consider it is a massive, massive plus.
I think it's a great opportunity for young people to sit with more experienced people who have been able to invest in businesses and see success. There will be a lot that have failed, and they'll be able to tell them about that as well. And it's okay to fail. I think in this world right now, there's a lot of anxiety about succeeding. If you don't succeed, you're a complete failure, and that's just wrong. You know, put one foot in front of the other, wake up tomorrow and go again, and that's the way it's got to be.